So I don't know what weights everybody wants.
Okay, so what do you think of me?
All right. Hello, friends. How is everyone today? Good, great, amazing, phenomenal, spectacular. How are you today? Good. Welcome to Pilates Sculpt, where we take a lot of the concepts of Pilates and we fuse it with functional integrated movement. We do standing work, some weight work. If you're looking for the bolt, they're right down there. Yeah. As always, listen to your body. Don't do anything that doesn't feel right. Feel free to modify. Come to standing, please. We're all going to get started together. We're first just going to kind of do a little check-in, like bring one hand to the front and one hand to the back. And just kind of shift your weight forward and back a couple of times and notice what your spine does. Maybe it stays nice and still. Maybe as you shift it forward, it arches. And then center your weight. So you've got weight through your toes and your heels. And on your exhale, all we're going to do is draw our belly button to our spine. That's it. Yep. And then relax. So it's like I've got a little rubber band and I'm just threatening to flick you with it. Good. Couple more. Kyle, you look very like. I'm always going to watch you because I'm so aggressive. Two more. Good. Last one. Hold that and then just let your arms dangle. Nod your chin, roll all the way down, one bone at a time until you come into your forward fold. Now shift your weight forward and back a couple of times and see if you feel like a change in tension, right? Maybe if your hips are really far back, you feel this more in your hamstrings. And if your weight is forward a little, it's a little bit more calf. Hands to one side and just kind of see what your body says. If your knees need to be soft, is that okay? Absolutely. And then other side. Come back to center. We're actually going to come onto hands and knees. Good. Push the floor away, but finding a neutral spine so we're not overly rounding in a Halloween calf. And on your exhale, just lift one little paw. And then press down other side. So we're just doing little kitty cat paws here. Nancy, bring your hands closer together. So if you're like, okay, I got this, easy. Maybe try hands wider, knees together. See if you can still stabilize the same way. Monica, press towards the sky. There you go. Good. Beautiful. If you need easier, knees wide, hands closer. Good. Couple more. And of course, if being on hands doesn't feel great, you can always be on fists. Or since we're using weights today, you can always put your hands on weights. Good. Last one. And then both hands down. Slide one foot out and just hold for a second and bring it in. Just notice what your body did. Other side. So it's like you're trying to push the foot to the opposite wall rather than bringing it up to the sky. Don't worry, you'll be able to float the legs soon enough. So start to push the foot so far away that maybe it begins to float, but we're not getting it high, right? We're keeping it at very least just parallel. Good. Couple more. Just see if that glute starts to activate. Now hold this last one out. We're going to rotate to the side. Yeah. And just float that leg up and down. So we're actively getting a little bit of glute medius here. Good. Now, if you're like, you know, this is way too easy, Audra, you can always come into more of a knee plank and use that glute on the bottom side as well. Good. Two more. Good. Last one, bring the foot down. If it's appropriate, slide the other foot out, full plank. If it's not appropriate, keep the knee down. And we breathe and hold. You can reach that arm up, but instead of having it back, we're letting it pull us to the sky. Good. Bring the knee down. Rotate back to center. Other side. Slide it out. Rotate. And we lift and lower. Trying to use the glute. So if you feel the front pocket of the hip, as opposed to the back pocket, drag it back, paintbrush. And of course, you can always bring it into a knee plank where you shift your weight but still lift up. It should be more work on the bottom leg. Good, couple more. Nice job keeping your abs on, please. So I don't want your back to be doing any work. 3, it's all glute. We're finding stability through our torso. Now, bring that foot down. If it's appropriate, slide the other foot out, side plank. If you try it and you're like, no, thank you, still imagine that it's sliding out, but keep the knee down. We have 3, 2, 1, bring it down, come back to center. Good. All right, we're going to slide opposite arm and leg out. Hold. You guys ready for fun? Good. We're going to do the opposite side. And maybe this is where you stay. Right? Back and forth. If you're like, this is really easy, I got this, we're going to add on. Okay? Everybody ready for some brain work? Make sure that your abs are drawing up. Hold. Switch arms. Switch legs. Switch arms. Yeah, it's way harder on one side, isn't it? Switch legs. Now, what happens if it's like impossible when you switch arms? Tap the toe down. Boom, no problem. Good. So now that you guys have the pattern, that's what we're doing. We're switching one, then the other. Today, I'm keeping my leg down a couple times. Good. And is there one side that feels easier than the other? Yeah, yes, same. I'm like, this, no problem. This, no problem. Easy. And I'm gonna fall, right? So if you have a moment where you feel like you're gonna fall, check in, right? See if it is coming from that glute, your lat. Last one. Knees down, press yourselves into your little rest position. Hands up and over to one side, rolling your wrists out. Good, and then the other side. Good. Come back to center. We're going to do a full plank. So if for any reason it doesn't feel great to be in a full plank, you can always do a knee plank instead. But we're going to slide one foot out, other foot comes to meet us, pushing the floor away. Now, if you're in a knee plank, it's the same thing. Yeah. We're just making sure that we're pushing the floor away, lifting up. Good. Now, if it's appropriate for your body, you can bend a knee and then reach it back. And then other side. If that doesn't feel great, don't do it. If you're in a knee plank, you can always just extend. Good. Slow and steady wins the race. Good. Couple more. And 2. Everybody warming up? Yeah. Good morning. Last one. Knees down. Press yourselves into your rest position. And then just come up onto your knees. So several of us have tight hips. We're going to get a little bit of a hip stretch. So if this doesn't feel okay on your knees, you can fold your mat a couple times. Even I'm going to fold mine, even though it's squishy. So as we're on our knees, just kind of check in, right? Like, are you pitched forward? Are your ribs popping? Or are you stacked, right? Bring one foot forward and just first move a little bit through an easy range. Don't worry too much about what your back is doing unless it feels bad. Good, 2 more. Good. Now, bring your weight back, tuck your tailbone. Really squeeze that glute. You might already feel a stretch through your quad. If you don't, no problem. We're gonna think about that front foot dragging us. Tuck your tailbone for me. Yeah, is that more exciting? Good. Yeah. And hold. Good. Now, push your foot down into the ground for 5. Everybody's quad lighting up. Good. 4, 3, we're still maintaining that tuck. We're still pulling our belly button back. Now just stop pressing, squeeze your glute. See if you feel a little bit more ease through that hip. Now we think about the knee. Press the knee down and forward, still keeping this. It's like we're trying to come into knee flexion or hip flexion. Yep. Good. How's that feeling? A little bit higher, more exciting. Yeah, for 4. It's okay, relax your faces. 3, 2, inhale, exhale, relax. Good. Now bring your hand down, tuck your toes under, and if it feels appropriate, if you can do this without going into back extension, just straighten the leg. And then tap the knee down, and then straighten the leg. Now, we're trying to keep squeezing the glute forward. 2 more. Good. Last one. Good. Bring the knee down, push into this front foot to help you up. And now the most fun. We're going to grab our back foot or ankle. Now, if what just happened with me is all of a sudden your butt sticks out, maybe you don't bring it all the way to your hips, right? We're still trying to tuck. Yeah, good. You can also put your foot on like a yoga block, like use the yoga block to prop you up. Yeah, good. Now, everybody feel that quad? Good. We're gonna push our foot into our hand for 5. Yeah. Yep, that's great. 4, good save. 3, 2, inhale, exhale, stop pushing. But now we're gonna think about pulling our heel towards our butt. And I want you to pull it so far that if you let go, the foot doesn't move. For 5, hamstring cramping. 4, 3, 2, good, other side. That's it. Oh, same, I heard that, same. We're just gonna start moving through our range of motion. Oh, hi, Hammy. My hamstring cramped real fast today. How did everybody else's feel? Yeah. Well, how many hours were you in the car? And how many hours were you cycling? Yeah. Good. Last one. Good. Now bring it back so we can easily tuck the tailbone, right? We're folding over those ribs. Maybe this is where you stay. Yeah, that face you're making tells me that, yeah, when we breathe. And maybe you drag yourself forward, maybe you don't, but maintain this. The reason this is so much more intense is we're actually taking our origin and insertion points away from each other, right? And just push down into your foot for 5. Quad should be lighting up. 4, 3, 2, inhale. Exhale, just stop pressing, squeeze the glute. Maybe you get more movement, maybe you don't. There. And then keeping that kind of fold, we're gonna push, then drag forward for 5, for 4, for 3. Everyone doing okay? Yeah, anybody else got the stress sweats or just me? 2, inhale, exhale, relax, squeeze, press, good. Keep the tuck a little bit, yep. And then we bring our hand down, squeezing the hips forward. Now, maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you tuck the toes and you straighten the leg. Maybe as you straighten the leg, your back wants to help. And then you go, okay, I'm not gonna straighten the leg, okay? So tap it down, squeeze the glute. Yeah, couple more. So sometimes it's really important to get freedom through the front of the hip before we start working the back, because we'll be able to find the glute easier. Last one. Knee down, press into that foot to help you lift up. Now we're going to try to reach that back foot. Now, if you can't, prop it up on something. It's fine. If you can, amazing. Once again, we're trying to find that tuck. Yeah. So on a foam roller or a couch, still tuck your tailbone. Monica. Boop. Yep, there you go. You're doing great. Now, gently push your foot into your hand for 5, 4, 3, 2. Just relax that. Now think about pulling your heel towards your glute from the muscle, so much so that when we let go, foot doesn't move. Suze, can you let go? Yeah, for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Nice job, you guys. Guess what? We're going to come all the way to standing. Now, bring your feet together. Imagine squeezing your inner thighs like you're trying to pop a balloon, and then get a little bit of glute activation here. Just float one foot up. That's it. And see what your body did, right? Did it kick out? Did it lift up and over? Or is it structurally amazingly stable? Good. Nice. Let's try that other side. I like how the instability happened when you went to put the foot down. Yeah. Right? And so, for example, on one side, I'm like, yeah, I got this. On the other side, my hip wants to kick and rotate. And it takes a lot more effort to find neutral, right? So if you have a side like that, just bring it back to as much homeostasis as you can without excessive force, yeah? Great. Now we get to do that first side again. Inner thigh, glute, good. Nice. Now, we're just gonna take that toe, tap it out to the side, flex the foot, and brush it out to the side and up. Without obstacles, so kick that out of your way, good. Good. Now, I don't want it to be huge. I want you to brush it out, hold. Good. And then brush out, hold. Draw your belly button. Yeah, there you go. Is that a little less back? Good. Yeah. Nice. 4 more. Now, as you might see, there might be somebody touching the wall. Is that okay? Yes. If you need balance help, no problem. Last 2. How's that side glute feeling? Yeah. Now hold. Let it hinge forward. And brush it back. Good. So it's not a big sweep out and around or through. It's like side lying, right? So it's just forward, back. Yeah. Forward. Good. As it comes back, imagine that you're pushing it into something to really get that glute nice and active. How's everybody doing? Good? Yeah, anybody not feeling their glutes yet? That's what I thought. 2 more. Last one, hold. Hold. Good. Bring it in. Now, we have options. You can keep the toe tapped. You can bring it up. We're just gonna think of a clamshell. Clamshell. Now, as we clamshell, are we opening this hip? Or are we still finding that structural stability? Maybe you bring the foot up, no problem. Maybe you bend forward and clamshell like this. This is harder to balance. Good. Keep your hip bones forward, Kyle. Stick your butt out a little. Yes. That. 3. Good. Good. 2. You got this. You got this. Last one. Come on up. I have fantastic news. Other side. So think about those inner thighs. Walk it off. Walk it off. Inner thighs. Yeah. I'm just gonna. Yeah. And then tap. Yeah, I'm like, the band's just added bonus, right? And flex and hold. Just hold. Now we're trying not to hike, right? Because we don't want to overuse our QL here. We're just going to paintbrush, hold. Does it sing already? Yeah, because it was working so hard on that other side, right? So on this side, if you're like, I need a break, okay, that's fine. Paintbrush it out. And if you're like, I feel the front pocket of my hip as opposed to the back pocket, bring the foot back slightly, rotate that hip, let the foot dangle, just hold, don't go up as high, right? Good. If you feel your back here, relax it, draw the ribs in. Good. How you guys doing? Good. Is this side easier or harder? It's harder for me too. Honestly, one thing I think is fascinating, I think our nervous system instinctively knows which side is going to be easier. So it starts with that side, right? Because it's like, well, then I don't have to do the hard side, which then makes the hard side even harder because now it's already fatigued, right? We're going to hold, bring it forward, drag it back. Once again, as we drag it back, imagine you're pushing your foot into something. Huh. And back. In an ideal world, you don't want to be hiking your hip. However, you also don't want to be dropping your hip. So think about the glute helping typewriter your hips, and then your core being nice and strong. Thigh bone just kind of moves freely in the socket. Yeah, as freely as possible. Yeah, good. All right, so we have 3, 2. Yeah. Last one. And then we get to do your clamshell variation. So maybe this is it. Yeah, same. Maybe you're like, okay, I got this. I'm going to lift that foot. Great. If you're missing range of motion, right? So for example, I don't have a ton. I immediately kick my hip out, right? So if you find yourself doing that, think more about the thigh bone just spiraling in the socket, right? And then if you want, you can bend forward. Good. We're trying to really stabilize on the stabilizing side, right? Yeah, good. We have 5 and 4. Tap your toe on the ground. Tap it on the ground. Yeah. See how much easier that is? Yeah. Sometimes our nervous system just needs to know it's safe, right? 2. Last one. Nice job. Stand on up. Okay. We're not done. Inner thigh. Yeah, you're welcome. Inner thighs together. Send it down into kind of this half athletic stance. So let your tail feathers spread wide. We're bending at the ankles, the knees, and the hips, okay? If you just bend forward and you feel your back, slide your sits bones back a little so your glutes can stabilize you, okay? And then we just slide a foot back. Hold it in, no problem. Good. Now, if you're like, why is this so hard? Because we're already starting to fatigue. Can you hold on to something? Yes. Can you press your hands together? Yeah. Could you be like, okay, well, I'm just going to drag my foot through air because I got this? Of course. Right. But imagine that you're pushing your foot through wet sand to get a little texture through that movement, yeah? Good. Monica, you don't have to run away. Good. Okay. Now, maybe this is where you stay. No problem. Maybe you extend it out and then you hip hinge. And then you bring it up and you bring it in. Maybe you're like, almost extend, hip hinge, but keep the toe down. No problem. This, still really effective. We're trying not to round the back. Yeah. So sometimes I get more out of taking it half a step down because my muscles can really fire because my nervous system feels safe, right? Good. So hip bones stay forward. Just lean forward a little. That glute should really be kicking on. Yeah. Now, if you're reaching, opposite hand, right? Just like opposite arm and leg was so much easier than same side arm and leg earlier. Think of this leg, right? And a couple more. Maybe you lift the leg, maybe you keep it down. And in fact, try, like if you've been lifting it, try one with the foot down, see how that feels on the glute and the foot. 2. Last 1. Tap the toe down. Now, imagine, or first, make sure that you're not in this arched position, right? We want to keep the ribs kind of closed, one long line through the toe, through our ears, right? Now imagine that all your weight is in this leg, you're going to drag yourself down. Maybe you only bend both knees a fraction of an inch, push the foot into the ground. Couple more. Now, as you do this, maybe you're like, okay, I'm going to slowly hover or tap. Great. We're doing more of a single leg squat than a lunge, right? Lunges are very much like upright. There's a lot of weight on that back foot. There can be a lot of kind of pressure on that knee, right? Which isn't bad, it's just different. So what we're doing is bringing our hips back slightly. The focus is on this leg, okay? Good. Whether you go down an inch, whether you go all the way down, doesn't matter, it's all fine. 2 more. Yeah, last one. Amazing. Guess what? Other side. Yeah, or same side again. Okay, so other side, great. So squeeze your inner thigh, come into your little athletic stance. Yeah. And just start by tap and bring it in. Now, maybe when we were doing some of that first standing stuff, you were like, one side's really hard to find. And that might also show up here. So if at any point you're like, I have trouble finding this, see if you're going into internal rotation, right? Hip bones forward, knee over your second or third toe. Yeah. Think about sliding the sits bones back a little bit. Yeah, maybe you hold on. Maybe you press your hands together. Maybe you start pushing that foot slowly through wet sand, right? It's not a huge range. Now, maybe this is where you stay. Or you tap that toe down, hip hinge, maybe you go far, maybe you don't, and then you bring it up. Okay? Slide, hinge, letting the hip bones rotate around the thigh bone. And then if you're like, easy, no problem. Okay, extend, boop, bring it up, and then just a bunch more. I wanted to say a few more, a couple more, but I also don't want to lie to you guys. We have quite a few more. If you need a break, take one. Good, yeah. Bring it up, letting your back stay as quiet as possible. If when you breathe, you really inflate into the back as well, that can help you stabilize. Good. Hey, what happens if you hold on to something? You offer yourself some support. What happens if you keep the toe down? You offer yourself some support. So if you're having trouble finding the glute work and your hamstrings trying to take over, or you just don't feel anything, keep the foot down. See if you can find it. It's a little easier. We have 2 more. Push into the foot. Last one. Good. Slide it out, one long line through the foot, crown of your head, right? Now, this is the leg we're focusing on. We're going to drag it down. Let knee, hip, and ankle move. Bring it up. Once again, though, maybe you only go down an inch. no problem. This is still a lot of work, right? Right, yeah. Maybe you go, okay, I got 1 inch. I'm gonna try for 1.5 inches. Press, amazing. But once again, if we're very upright, it's just a lot on that back quad and sometimes on this front knee. So we're gonna elevator down instead of escalator. Okay. It's okay if your shoulders are about over your knee. But Nancy, bend your back knee. Yeah. Good. See? Couple more. Good. You have 3. Yeah, you're welcome to use your own body for support. 2. Last 1. Good job. Come all the way back. We're gonna do a little roll down. Hollow and roll. And take your hands to one side. Other side. Yeah. And then bend your knees. Start to roll it all the way up. Grab your weights. Now, feel how your weights can kind of help your shoulders melt out of your ears. Good, let's keep that. We're just gonna do a little bicep curl. And now slow it down on the way down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, squeeze. Now, I want you to also show me your guns on the way down, right? Like actively squeeze them. Yeah, good, nice. Is there a vet in the house? Because those pythons are sick. I know it's bad. One of my coworkers and I used to constantly ask each other stuff like that. Although both of us had noodle arms at the time, so it was real dumb. Although I could still beat him in like a arm wrestling because he had real noodle arms. Good. Yeah, so what we're doing when we slow it down and actively squeeze the muscle is we're just making our muscles work a little harder eccentrically, which guess what? Gets us stronger faster. Now, if you're like, this is too easy, okay, you stand on one leg. If you're like, yeah, my balance is amazing, great. Do one at a time. Yeah. Good. Relaxing through your shoulders. You guys all look scared. Is everybody okay? We're done with those horrible glute things for now. 2 more. Yeah. Last one. Good. Now, we're going to, before we get started, bring our hands to our hips. I know this looks ridiculous, but then bring the elbows back, shoulders down. Okay, so this is where we're gonna go. Keep your upper arm bone still, just straighten your arms. Hold. Everybody feel the back of their arms a little bit? Yeah, for 4, 3, 2, keep the same position of the upper arm bones bent. Reach. Now, these look great. Maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you extend that leg out. But if you do that, especially really reach your fingers towards your foot, keeping your collarbones open like you're taking off a big jacket. And make sure we hold, yeah. And it doesn't have to be high. Sometimes if we get our arms too high, see what my shoulders are doing, right? We don't want them to dump forward. We want to keep them nice and situated. Just add the back of the arm on. Yeah. 2 more. You like Prince? Yeah. Last one. I know, yeah. And hold. Now tiny little presses. 5, 4, 3. Good. And you can keep your hands a little bit wider if you want. Yeah. That a little bit nicer on the neck. Good. Now bring the arms forward. Now, much like we just found, right, before the tricep, this is where we're going. So arms come forward, drag the elbows down and back, hold. Mid back should be working. And again, drag it down and back. Now, if you're like, man, I feel my shoulders, are you just pulling your elbows back? Or are you pushing them down, right? If you need to, get rid of your weights. Think about tucking your shoulder blades under, widening through your collarbones, and try to find mid back there. And just hold it. And then you can move. Find that same position. Then you can always add more weight, right? So we're trying to find here, trying to find in between shoulder blades. 2 more. Okay. Last one. Good. Now, just come in to that nice T position. If you can, we have 4. If that T position is too intense, bring that foot down. 2. Last one, bring it up. We're going back to biceps. Now, whether you're doing one at a time or both at a time, it's up to you, right? If this was where you were before, fantastic. If you're like, but I was on 1 foot, great. Be on that 1 foot. Still control it on the way down. Text me later and remind me to take this off my playlist. I love Prince, but the high-pitched sounds, like sometimes it's fine and sometimes it's all I can hear. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and Spotify will, there are like 70 songs on this playlist. And Spotify will decide for weeks just to play the same like 10. And I'm like, why? You have so much to choose from. And 2 more. Good. How's that stabilizing side feeling? So good, it's sneaky, isn't it? Yes. All right. Gonna find those triceps. So hands, elbows just kind of back. They don't need to really squeeze together. They're just wrapping around a little. And then extend the arms, hold. Kyle, lift your collarbones a little. Yes. And then Monica, press down and back. Yeah. Just like that. Good. Now, maybe you stay there, maybe you come here. Right? You're still pushing your knuckles down and back. So you really get the back of the arms. Deborah, pitch forward from your hip. Yes. Don't take your hands as far back. Yeah, just squeeze the elbow. Kate, I think I want you to pitch forward a little bit too. Yeah, good. Didn't think I could see you, did you? Just with the arm or with the hip. Yeah, so the arms have more space. Yeah, good. Good. Mario, you can pitch forward from your hip a little bit more if it feels okay. Yeah, yeah. Nice. Couple more. 4, 3, 2 more. You're all amazing. Last one. Hold it. Tiny squeezes. 5, 4. Keeping those collarbones wide. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Bring the elbows back, shoulders down, tuck them under. This is what we're going to find, right? Find it. Slowly let the arms come forward. Find it again. Good. Now, if you feel these muscles, right, ask yourself, are you arching? Right? A lot of times, if these muscles get weak, these muscles like to take over. So keep the abs on, shoulder blades draw down, tiny squeeze, right? Same with here. If this isn't working, this is going to overwork. So you can try a couple without, and then add on, right? Good. We have just a couple more. 3, grab our elbows down. Hold there, down. Yes, that's where you're going. Hands can come forward and then back and down. Down and back. Yeah, there you go. Do you feel how that's less neck? 2. Yeah. Now, if you are ready for it, come into the T position, give me 4 more. If you need that toe down, no problem. 3 more. 2. Last one. Come all the way up. We get to come to the ground, you guys. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to turn my mat a little bit. How you guys doing? Everyone good? Great. We're going to use our ball for a prop. Does everybody have one? Kate, do you have a ball? Here, I'll give you mine. Catch somebody. Nancy. Yeah. Perfect. All right, we're going to bring it behind us. Hands behind our head. And if you're at home, you don't have a ball, holding a pillow a couple times is great. So support your head with your hands and then just come into a little extension. And then exhale, curl forward by sinking your ribs together and down, belly button back, looking through your knees. Hi, Kyle, we're gonna make a lot of eye contact here. And then slowly extend. As you curl, think about sinking the ribs into the ball so much that it helps you. Good. A few more. Yeah. And Mario, scoot away from your ball a little bit. It's a little high. Yeah. Actually, yours might. Yeah. See if that feels better. Good. I would say even more. Yeah. I would actually move away from yours a tiny bit too. Yeah, just like a little. Good. Yeah. So scoot your hips towards me. Yeah. Yeah. Good. And so then curl your collarbones forward. Yeah. Do you feel how that's less neck? Beautiful. And then Teresa, just hold for a second. Yeah. Good. 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 Yep. Beautiful, everybody. Monica, that looks great. You can also just kind of let the legs drop to the side, whatever feels fine. You could even do it with the foam roller if you need that support. Yeah. Good. Couple more. Good, Suze. Now, curl forward. And if it's appropriate in your body, we push one foot into the floor, float the other leg up. Good. Step it down. Push into the ground so much that the other leg has no other option than to float. Okay? And once again, we're resisting on the way down, right? We could curl and kind of like let gravity have its way with us, but imagine that you and gravity are playing tug of war, and gravity is eventually going to win, but you don't want to let its ego get out of control. You still need to put up a fight, right? Now, if this is appropriate, and you're like, you know what I really want? More work? I got you. So same side hand as leg, it's gonna push into the leg. Think of it from the armpit and obliques, yeah, hold, 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 slowly lower other side. Good. Don't leave your neck behind quite as long, Suze. Bring your head forward a little bit faster next time. Yeah, good. And then down, lengthening through your ears. Good. So you're matching the force of your hand with your leg. Everybody feel that ab kicking on even more? Good. Couple more here. And 2. Good. Last one like this. Now we're going to extend over, big breath, and then curl forward, rotate to one side. Now, try to keep the opposite hip heavy, and then extend over, and then rotate to the other side. Now, if at any point you need to get rid of the ball, no problem. Or if you're like, I just need to like get a little bit away from it, so my low back has a little bit more support, no problem, okay? It's less intensity, but that's not always a bad thing, right? Now, if you're ready, float the leg. Then slowly lower. Push into that opposite side. So you're actually activating that hamstring a little bit. That does a couple things. One, it helps us stabilize. And 2, it can help our nervous system not pay as much attention to the hip flexor, which already tends to be neurologically dominant, right? Now, if you're ready, you rotate and you push. Good. And then extend. Anybody else's oblique just, yeah, okay, not just mine? Yeah, good. So rotate first, then push second. Nice job, you guys. Anybody not feeling their abs yet? Great, I just wanted to make sure. Good. Good. Couple more. Good. Yeah. I would curl up just a little bit higher because you're leaving your neck behind. Yeah. So curl up from here more. Yeah. And then you can, good. That's beautiful. And maybe the ball goes a little bit farther away because it looks pretty inflated. Yeah, that'll feel better on your neck, I think. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, much better. Good. One more each side. Last one. Good. And then extend and relax. Extend one leg at a time out. Curl your collarbones and armpits forward. And then hands can come forward. We're going to do some roll-ups. So if that is the type of roll-up you need to do, amazing. If you need a prop like a pad or something underneath your low back, amazing. If you need to bend your knees, fantastic. We're just gonna roll. And Monica, keep the foam roller under your knees. And then as you come up, inhale and then exhale, curl, yeah, and roll forward. Now here, reach forward as much as you can, and then lift your ribs up and back, and then shoulders just melt out of the ears. We're not retracting, they're just down. And then curl and roll. Good. So that doesn't look bad, but try holding the weights in your hands and see how that feels. Yeah. Good. Straighten your arms. Straighten your arms to the sky. Now bring your hands towards me. Yeah, see. And then you're not having to push up with your hip flexor. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Slowing it down on the way down. Nice job, everybody. Good. 2 more. Deborah, put the pad behind you. And you can still use the weights, but I think it'll just make it a little bit easier. Yeah, so arms straight up to the sky, Deborah. Now hands to your feet. See, boom, easy breezy. Good. And last one. Nice job, you guys. All right, now we're gonna bring our legs to tabletop. Curl back just a little bit. Yeah. And then curl back another inch. Curl back another inch. Curl back another inch. Yeah, keep going. 1 inch at a time. I know there's that look of fear, but you guys, you're not gonna fall. There you go. Now, how's everybody doing? Curl back a little more, Sus. There we go. Push 1 foot away. Reach it far, far, far. We're gonna bring the other hand up top. Push. And then switch. So it's like a single leg stretch. Now the leg that's up, you're gonna push up from the leg and away from the leg. Use that to help you. What happens if you're like, man, my neck? You bring a hand behind your head. Okay, no problem. What happens if you're like, I'd really like my head down? Bring your head down. You can even put your head on a ball. If it doesn't feel appropriate to extend, you can always tap. No problem, right? Listen to your body and where you are, because everybody's body is going to be different every day, right? Now, if this is great and you're upright, you can always bring your hands behind the head, rotate for crisscross. Good. Now, is it okay to straighten your knee? Of course. However, if you immediately go into a straight leg position, maybe try keeping the foot a little lower, keeping the knee bent, and see if you can find a little bit more ab recruitment as opposed to just going into the quad, right? We have a couple more. Trying to curl towards the knee. 2, once again, if you need to, you march or you tap. Last set. Hug your knees towards your chest. Gently rock from side to side. Yeah, almost. We're gonna come to hands and knees one more time. We're gonna get a little rotation from our back. So we just got rotation from our abs, right? Now we're just gonna get a little rotation through our thoracic spine, little activation. So you don't have to use this prop, especially if you don't have it, but I like it for my rotation. So if you're using the ball, it's gonna be on the stable side, other hand comes on top. Now just bend the elbow as you roll it away. Press into the floor as you come back to center, hold, hand comes out to the side. Hold, find your mid back. And then rotate. This should feel relatively easy. Yeah, and then back. If you accidentally brush someone, just hold hands, we're friendly. Only with consent though. And 2. Good. Last one. Other side. You guys have done very, very nice work today. Hopefully you're feeling good, or at very least will be once we're done, which will be in like 2 minutes. Good. Couple more. There, good. Find some ease of motion with this. 2. And last one. We're coming all the way to standing. Breathe. Good. Roll. Now, we've already done balance work from our muscles, we're going to add a little bit of inner ear and visual. So bring one foot in front of the other, like you're on a tightrope. And if you feel pretty wobbly, make sure that you don't have any obstacles in your path, right? Now, the other thing you can do, first line of defense is always opening your eyes, okay? If this feels easy, close your eyes. Yeah, good. If that feels easy, start to take your head over one side and then the other side. If you're like, well, this is too easy, but closing my eyes is easy, but closing my eyes and turning my head is too hard, keep your eyes open and turn your head, right? See how that feels. Last two. And of course, you can always rub the back of your neck for a little bit of extra proprioceptive awareness. And then other side. A little tightrope there. Yeah, and just see how it feels. Yeah. And then maybe try closing your eyes. Maybe that feels really easy. If it does, fantastic. Maybe try turning your head. If you feel your like kind of foot and ankle joint shake, it's fine. It's noise. It's just your proprioceptors trying to figure out where they are. So maybe like activate your feet a couple times. Right? Two more. Last one. Good. Bring your feet together. Flip your palms to the sky. Open your heart. And relax. Give yourselves a round of applause. Nice work today, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Amazing work. Amazing work. Boom. If you guys could actually spray them down and then roll them up and put them up there, that'd be great. Thank you. Thanks. Ah.
They were like one scintilla.
Oh.
I mean, the balance was balance, but it was like almost none of that. It was usually, it's amazing how much expertise you see. You know,
Oh.
and then I come back and it's like, oh my God. This class, I took classes at a few different places through class pass. Nothing even close.
Thank you.
Nothing even close.
Makes me really happy. Thank you.
Yeah, good. But I was actually like, maybe I have Pilates isn't for me.
Thank you.
Come back. Oh my God.
Oh, thanks.